I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome in Synnamon Buns. Hi.
Hello.
Hey,
thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Buns. I'm a little Sun Bunny VTuber. I mostly am a weekend streamer due to actually having an IRL job, but mostly do variety content, cozy and horror games, basically whatever the heck I feel like.
So what got you started in content creation?
You know what? It's really funny. I've only very recently considered myself to be like a quote unquote content creator.
You've graduated now. You've evolved into content creator.
It's more that I've finally accepted the term applying to myself, ironically enough. I kind of saw myself more of a streamer for the past couple of years. I've been doing this for a little over 4 years now.
Jeez.
But I think what got me into it was just kind of a combination of factors. Post-COVID, wanting to try something new.
Right.
Wanting to connect with people, wanting to get through my game backlog, which is still an ongoing process.
Yeah, I saw somebody posted their Steam catalog numbers, and it was like several thousand things they haven't gotten to yet. And I'm like,
my God,
where did you get the money for this?
We don't think about it. It's just like, hey, $20 here, $50 there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I'm thinking of how to keep the lights on here, enough gas to get to work there.
Yeah. I gotta pay my rent bills first, unfortunately. But...
Yeah. Look, you hope that your landlord is a gamer, so they know what you go through.
Ironically enough, my upstairs neighbors are musicians, so every once in a while I'm serenaded with some music. I always pray that it's not when I'm streaming, so that it doesn't come through on my mic.
Is it at least good music?
Yes, yeah, no, it's not like hard rock or metal. Not that I would complain about that, but it's just, it's at appropriate times of the day, all that kind of stuff.
And just not total bass shaking everything.
God, no, I would probably have to move out. Honestly,
we've got neighbors who enjoy playing their instruments. Well, their instruments of death, I call them. Their stereos outside as loud as possible.
Oh God.
Yeah. So my wife counteracts that by going out and turning on her politics shows as loud as possible.
Oh my God. That's a good way to not get any neighbor points. Yeah.
Yeah, that runs them off pretty quick. It runs me off too.
Yeah.
Back to the studio. What got you? You say you just kind of jumped into it looking for something to do, but did you see any VTubers before you did it?
Yeah, and interestingly enough, I don't know why. I always feel like, Iron Mouse always kind of comes to the forefront, but
yeah.
I feel like I've heard of her for some strange reason until I actually got really into watching her.
Mm-hmm.
But during COVID, because at the time a lot of people were watching content creators and streamers and influencers, probably more so than like regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
My first real kind of exposure as to what a VTuber was subbed Korone Inugami clips of her playing one of the old Mario games. I can't remember what it was.
Sunshine
no, not Sunshine. Like from the NES era.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was playing it on like the Switch port of it.
Okay. One, 2, or 3, one of those?
I think it was 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should know this. I played them before.
Yeah, I mean, I actually beat one time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, I beat them at 4:00 in the morning. And then I called a friend of mine immediately who told me to never call him again. But,
yeah.
I was happy. I had to share it with somebody. It was 4:00. He
Yeah,
used,
that's true.
I lived next door to him. He's lucky I didn't, just pull him out of bed and tell him, "Hey, I beat Mario."
I I don't think I've ever beat any of them, but I think three. If three is the one that I'm thinking about with the Tanuki tail, that three was always my favorite
3
as a
was
kid.
fun. We played it with the Game Genie.
Oh,
And you remember the Game Genie at all?
I don't, but I had the original NES.
Yeah, me too. The Game Genie was one of the first ways to get your cheat codes in games. Uh,
Like a Game Shark.
yeah, exactly. So it's exactly the same
Ah,
thing. Um,
neat.
you plugged it in and you could have eternal flight in Mario, so you got to see all the little side things, and we went through uh, 3 with that. And that was pretty amazing. Like, oh,
Oh, that's cool.
there's a big giant question block if you fly high enough. Like, how would
How do you get there normally? Yeah.
how would I ever get there? Of course, then you get yourself trapped and you die anyway. But um, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Actually, there's been time recently. My 10-year-old grandson is up on his Mario games, and we were doing a kind of one versus one thing. And being the good grandpa that I am, I was losing every time. And
hmm
he finally turned to me and says, "Looks like I own you, Papa."
And you're probably sitting there going,
Mm,
well, if it wasn't for me, you'd probably not be here.
yeah, I was like, "Well, boy, you're dealing with an OG Mario player here." And I the next time we played, I beat him so badly that he shut the game off and said, "Let's play something else."
Oh my god. Yeah, that's the typical kid reaction
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, you awaken the sleeping video game player. All those quarters I put in the arcades will come to use someday. But
Yep.
so so you grew up with video games then?
Pretty much. I've had apparently it's probably a little too much information. Apparently, according to my mom, my dad's version of bonding time was him playing Dr. Mario and me sitting in his lap as a small child. So I pretty much had video games
Oh,
pretty much all my life.
I can absolutely see that. That would be me. I would be that type of dad.
Yep.
But it would be more like playing Fallout New Vegas and showing them my little son or daughter how to use the hand grenades.
Ah, cute.
Oh, they're so young and they learn so quickly.
They do. They do.
Yeah, and our first video game was actually Pong.
Oh wow. The original Pong on the original hardware?
It was a Sears Pong that was licensed,
Oh,
and we got it out of the Sears catalog.
that's so cool.
Oh
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it had Pong, Super Pong, Street Pong, hockey, and street hockey.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
I just know Pong as like the original one, but I didn't know that it came with other games too.
yeah. It was basically it was the same game. It just you still had the paddles, whacking it back and forth. The paddles would get smaller or larger, or um,
Mhm.
they had one Pong set up where you had a paddle on the other side of the net from you too, so you could
Oh.
change direction of the ball and really mess things up.
Oh,
That,
that's clever actually, even
yeah.
for all the way back then.
Oh yeah. I mean, they did what they could with these games. Um,
Yeah.
they didn't have pixel graphics back then. And your one ups. We didn't have any of that stuff. We just played.
You didn't need to see every single pore on every single
That's
character.
right. I still want to do this. I want to get a bunch of people together, game players, and do a Pong tournament
Oh, that would be fun.
and see how bad everybody really is.
Yep,
It-
yep. All the reflexes. See how
and
bad everybody's reflexes actually are.
yeah, and nobody has. I don't think anybody has a controller with the spin dial on it.
No,
So
not anymore.
that'd make it extra tough. There'd be people be like, "Where's my power ups? Where's my guns?" Nope, nope. White paddle, white ball, hit ball.
Just you and a paddle and a ball,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Mario Tennis without the explosions.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we'd see some really bad players. Sure.
We would. It's like me being like, oh, I'm great at playing Tetris, and then you play Tetris like multiplayer, and there's just some people that are just like,
oh yeah,
absolute wizards at it.
yeah. I loved Tetris on the NES. I really loved playing it, and I beat the hard side on the top level,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but the end sequence for that is pretty epic.
Oh, neat.
What
I don't think I've
plays?
ever gotten super far, but it's just a fun, relaxing until it's not game.
Oh yeah, I mean it's one of those games you can lose an hour in it easy.
Yeah.
I have a couple games on my phone now that are that way.
Yeah.
If I sometimes I'll pull them out in between words and other people's conversations.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the reason why I have it on hotkey, folks. You pause, I've got the game going. So when you decided to do this, did you have any were you taken aback a little bit by getting on a microphone in front of people, or had you done it before?
I had not done it before. I know a lot of people in this space are like previous content creators from doing like cosplay, or let's play, like previous YouTube videos or anything like that. Hilariously enough, I very rarely even got on Discord voice calls with friends prior to, or even during like my first year of streaming. I was very, very nervous actually having a microphone and being able to be like, am I loud? Am I too loud? Or am I too quiet?
Yeah.
What do I say? How do I react? That sort of thing. So
Yeah.
it was very nerve-wracking, but you gain experience through doing it.
Yeah, you do gain experience, and the one good thing is that you're not standing in front of an audience.
Yeah.
That sees you do this. You do have that model. Does the model make all the difference in the world to you, as far as being able to stream and have emotions and stuff out there? Would you do face cam?
When I was first thinking about streaming, I was thinking about face cam. Because a part of me was just like, I have all this makeup that I haven't used because of COVID, because a lot of people were masked up.
Yeah.
My work requires us to be masked up.
Oh yeah.
And I remember even watching a colleague take off her mask very briefly, and she just had like a strip of foundation on the top of her mask because she was wearing makeup underneath. So I was just like, oh, this would be great use to use my makeup on a more regular basis and stuff like that. But I don't think I could do face cam streaming. There's, not to say a big difference between like a face cam male presenting streamer and a female presenting streamer, but there kind of can be.
Yeah.
Sometimes the internet's not as great as it could be. It's not as kind as it could be. So I don't think I could do face cam, but
you were very kind in putting it that way. It does not.
Well, we all hope for the best.
It does not deserve that kindness.
No, it doesn't. But
no,
I want to put it politely,
Yeah, that's one of the things I think that's really appeals to me for folks who are getting into VTubing, is that you can present yourself however you want.
Yeah.
And if it's very tough for someone to present, say if someone were biologic male and wanted to present as a female, it was a lot easier to do that here than it would be in public. For a lot of people. I mean, some people have a really good situation, and some people have a tough time doing it. But here, you get to set the narrative of who you are.
Yeah, that is honestly one of the kind of amazing things about VTubing that I appreciate, is you're allowed to kind of be whoever you want. If you want to have a furry model, you can have a furry model. If you want there are several people that I know that have Sonic style models, from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I know some people with furry models, and I do have some, transgender friends.
Oh yeah.
And it's just great that they get a chance to properly express themselves when, societal situations, affordability being one of them,
Well,
or
yeah,
healthcare,
yeah,
kind of preventing them from being able to actually express themselves how they want to. So,
and the joy that I hear for folks who are able to do that because they're comfortable with
yeah,
how they're presented, and it that layer of outer looks and being accepted for it kind of breaks down, and it doesn't necessarily disappear, but it's not a factor if you're enjoying yourself playing with other people.
yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, I am the kind of person that will end up probably by accident misgendering some people on a slip up.
Mm.
I've done it last night on a stream where a friend accidentally not using the right pronoun, but
Oh, yeah.
but it's
I'm
more because I'm dumb than
yeah. Well,
intentionally mean.
I mean, I'm 60 years old, so I'm trying and still learning and trying. I'm trying to go to using they them pronouns for everything. Because it's kind of
Yeah.
a safe spot for me. And the last thing I want to do is make people horribly uncomfortable, or because that doesn't make for a particularly good interview.
Yeah.
When
No,
suddenly,
that's what I do in the professional, like even in my IRL job.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
tends to be what I kind of relate to. Is just like I try to use gender neutral, even if they don't go by they them. It's a little bit more accepting.
yeah, and
Um,
it keeps you from having to ask everybody who comes in.
mhm.
Like I'm sure that I can't put myself in their shoes, but getting asked every time you come in someplace is, I imagine, would be a little taxing after a while. Um,
Yeah.
and it's I do say that I work at a police station, and I am at the front desk, and I did have an opportunity to have a uh, transitioned man get arrested for the first time and get put into the male half of the jail.
Uh,
I guess that's a something.
yeah.
We got into a
But
we got into it at the desk, and I said, "Well, you probably end up going to jail." And they said, "Sure, go ahead and try." And I did, and they were in jail. Um, can't throw beer cans at the people behind the desk.
yeah.
But it's something that any type of presenting, if you're a wallflower, if you're somebody who's really intensely afraid of being in public, you can expand and bloom on this particular medium.
Yeah, I would probably raise my hand and say that that applies to me because I've always had not I've always been considered shy growing up
Mm,
and not necessarily having trouble like making friends or anything like that, but like I wouldn't open up quite as much.
mm.
But with streaming and with VTubing, like there's so much advice out there being like, you have to talk all the time. You can't have 10 seconds of dead air. You can't like you have to keep talking and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I play games by myself for my own enjoyment in complete and utter silence. I do not narrate what I do. But on stream you kind of have to learn how to do that. You have to learn how to be, quick, witty, snappy with your responses. It's not going to happen all the time, but it might make for a great clip or something like that, or it might make for more enjoyable viewing experience.
Well, I tell you, you just found your big T-shirt slogan. It's the Cinnamon Buns. I play games. And
Pretty much.
that would be it. It's just the logo on the front and I play games on the back. That'd be perfect.
Yep.
You're a genius, marketing genius. Well, being a little bit shy, as you say, has it been tough to kind of market yourself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've never actually marketed myself. Like, even going for job interviews,
Mm.
everybody hates job interviews pretty much, but some people are much better at it than others. I've always hated job interviews, but Like I distinctly remember doing oral presentations in school and just like dreading it so much, just standing at the front of the class, having to like have all the attention on you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hated
But
that.
somehow like, I don't know, getting to be an adult, I guess, and being more exposed to it just kind of helped a little bit in that way. But
Yeah, mine's the other way around. I mean, when I was a kid, in grade school, I was in the chorus, and they'd give me lead parts, solo parts, because
wow,
I was the loudest. I wasn't exactly the best, but I didn't mind getting up in front of people and doing it. But as I got
yeah,
older and went into the turbulent teen years, um, I got less and less comfortable in front of people
hmm
doing that sort of thing. I just kind of want to fade into the background. Which, if you're going to be a radio guy, I mean, you kind of have to, you know, step up your game a little bit. I mean, it's not in front of a lot of people, but I could tell you at one point, I knew I had a lot of people listening because it was around a major college football game. But
hmm
when you get me in a room with 10 people, my legs would lock.
you don't see, the 1,000 peoples that are in the stand, but when it's
No,
10 people, you're very acutely aware of everyone that's in the
absolutely.
room.
That person has the strangest blue eyes. and that
Yeah.
and it was tough, but I kind of got over that a little bit, and I can say that a high school drama class kind of helped me a little bit as far as that goes. Um, and I was able to get out in front of people, and we had one fairly large local pro wrestling show that I was the MC of, and I did that
Oh,
okay.
cool.
Didn't mind that, and
Yeah.
it was 800 to 1,000 people in there. I'm like, oh, okay. But I wasn't standing in the middle of the ring either doing the stuff, so that
Yeah,
was something. Um,
yeah.
do you feel now that you're really comfortable behind the microphone?
I would say so. I feel if anything, I'm more nervous about like tech issues or
Mm.
audio or my mic cutting out at odd times. So it's not necessarily how I'm speaking, or how loud I am or anything like that. It's more, you more fear the scuff than anything else.
Yeah, it's those things you can't control that
Yeah, exactly.
that you worry. But those things are going to happen. One time in radio we used to broadcast from what was called a Marty, which is basically another radio station you carried with you, and
Oh.
that would broadcast from wherever you're at to the radio station, and you just rebroadcast that audio.
Mhm.
And I had two guys doing play-by-play for a high school basketball game, and the machine died.
Oh no.
And this was a super important, rivals clash. We sold a lot of commercials for it. We had part of a quarter left to go. So they had them do the rest of the game on their cell phones and
Oh.
patch them in on a conference line.
hmm
And that's how they did the rest of the game. On their each had their own cell phone. They could hear each other on the cell phone.
I was going to say the call quality is probably not the best, but at least they got it done.
Yeah. And the broadcast went through. I mean, people didn't realize just how much hair I'd pulled out the top of my head, but it got to, as long as the finished product is good, and
Yeah.
I imagine it's that way for VTubers too. I mean, if you got something going on in the background, like say, oh, neighbors playing instruments or something. As long as the audience doesn't know what's happening, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I've had like a week long of just like certain audio cues and alerts not going off. And I'm just like, well, you know what? As long as you guys actually hear it, I don't mind not hearing it from my end.
Matter of
But then I
fact,
have a chatter who's like, I want to jump scare you with stuff. And it's just like, well, it's not going to work
like
until I fix it.
just point at them and laugh. Ah.
Yeah. Thank you for your attempt.
Yeah. And then it starts working all of a sudden and really blows you out of the water.
Yeah.
You got used to this.
Pretty much.
So how do you think your relationship is with your chat at this point?
Um, Pretty good, pretty good. I think that if anything, they're probably the one of the reasons that I've actually kind of kept going over the past 2 years. I don't know that I haven't really hit a point where it's like, oh, I'm going to quit this or anything like that. But you do have moments where you're doubting yourself, or a lot of people don't try to focus on growth as much, but it's sometimes something that's in the background for a lot of people.
Mm, yeah.
But I think if it wasn't for them and them showing up, and even if they lurk, that's fine, because I lurk in half, at least more than half of my friends'
Right.
streams. Like, if, that's fine. You can lurk. I'll still be here.
Yeah.
But they're kind of the reason that I'm going to keep going. So.
Oh yeah. I lurk a lot if I'm not trying to jump into guests' streams and mess with them a little bit. I'll just sit at work and have them on the headset. I just just listen to what's going on, because unfortunately I have to talk to people at work.
Yeah.
And it's and I'm glad people are there are some people who get nervous with that, I guess, that they get angry at people lurking and not participating. I'm like, get over that.
There's always going to be a lurker in a chat, even if you don't want them to be there or you call them out or anything like that. There's always going to be people that just want to, just for lack of a better term, vibe.
Yeah.
Like, they just want to hang out and they're enjoying it, but they might not. I myself usually don't have a lot to say. If I do have something to say, then I'll pop it into a chat. But if not, it's just like, sometimes it's just like, hi, I'd rather water you and make sure you're stretching and make sure that you're taking care of yourself, versus I have something very poignant to say, or I want to react to everything that's happening.
Oh yeah, and usually I don't have anything good to say anyway.
I'm sure you do.
Well, I mean, not that anybody could understand, but I just go in, say hi. Sometimes I just type bother to show that I'm there to bother them, and they get a little reaction. Then I'll fade back and let everybody have their time, because I'm sure you found that there's some people who are very, very, very much into that interaction, and as try to get as close and personal with you as they can. Have you had that situation before yet?
Have I had any very parasocial people? Probably not, but I would say that is sort of, I don't want to say it's a fear necessarily. It's more just like something in the background that I'm kind of like, I really don't want to be in one of those situations. Because it's very disconcerting. And again, I don't mean to bring up the gender difference between like male VTubers and female VTubers, but females do tend to, or female presenting VTubers do tend to get more parasocial people, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It does seem that way. It does. I haven't seen any numbers to prove that, and it's very tough to prove what is an actual parasocial relationship sometimes. I guess one size does not fit all in that case. But
yeah,
the thing that makes me cringe about seeing some folks now, I've known so many folks who are VTubers, is when I know somebody is very empathetic and has that sunny disposition and tries to be nice people all the time, and they start getting abused because of it. It just makes me want to take somebody out behind a shed and give them some personal attention, if you catch my drift. As I don't want to see people get discouraged, and think that they're the reason for these things happening. They're not. It's just there's some folks who need help of a different sort, and they're going the wrong place to get it.
Yeah, it is one unfortunate aspect of, I guess, this job, for lack of a better term again.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, I think that they want to be friendly because, one, they're not equipped. Streamers, VTubers, or just regular streamers in general are not equipped in how to handle situations like that.
Yep.
And most people are in this just for entertainment, for fun, or for some people it is their full-time job, but that doesn't mean that they're equipped to deal with very parasocial situations.
Yeah. That's why some people should be glad for lurkers, because maybe you don't want to talk to them.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe that could be true. But I think it's also hard as a streamer, especially those that do this for full time, or they pay their rent through their payouts and support and stuff like that. It can be hard to say no, but usually there is a bit of a threshold, there is a bit of a line, and if people do cross it, I think there's a lot more people that are more willing to just be like, nope, that's it, sorry, hit the ban button.
Yeah, and go back. Have you set your lines at this point?
I had one very odd experience where I had a chatter come in who, how do I explain this? The first thing that they sent was in English, and then everything else was in Spanish. But I have like several Spanish-speaking friends, including a Spanish friend. She actually lives in Spain, and I sent them a screenshot, and one of them was like, yeah, that's like Puerto Rico Spanish, and my Spanish friend was like, yeah, that's not real Spanish. But it was a bit of an awkward situation, because it's just like, I unfortunately don't speak that language. I don't know what you're actually saying. It could quite possibly be something that's innocent. But you could be also saying, send me to hell, for example. So it's not like a parasocial sort of thing, but it was a very it did kind of throw me off, unfortunately. And that kind of stuff will happen, even if it's just kind of an innocent little encounter.
That just, I wish I would have learned Spanish. It'd be very tough to learn another language at the age I am now, but my Spanish is basically Sesame Street Spanish.
That's okay. That's probably my level of French, being Canadian and only learning it in school. So
well, that even irritates me more, because I found out in my 50s that I have quite a Canadian background, French Canadian, as a matter of fact, and I don't know anything about French. I don't. I know EC. That's about it. This is EC me.
Yeah.
And then I found out that I've got ancestors that came over to help settle Quebec. I know. And one of my family's name was Levesque, which was English anglicized, but was definitely French. One of those guys actually fought in the War of 1812 on the Canadian British side.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was in the Newfoundland Fencibles.
That's cool.
Yeah, and he got caught and sent to Ohio, and lived to 106.
Well, maybe it was something in the Ohio water that didn't live until that long.
Yeah, I was like, well, that and if he was a newfie, he's also going to be stubborn.
Yes.
That's where it comes from.
I've never been, but they're pretty stubborn there.
Yeah. I would love to go up and see it sometime. There was one place. One of my ancestors was a king's daughter.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and she was sent over with a bunch of other folks to basically find a man and have kids. And there's one of the border towns of Quebec has a statue in their honor, and I really want to go see it. But
you should.
Yeah, well, maybe when gas prices come down a little less than my house.
That's true.
And I don't think you can fly directly there, so it might be a little while yet before I could do something.
Yeah,
but
I mean, if it helps, our dollar is still kind of in the crapper as it is, though, so it might be not as expensive as you think it is.
Have you seen our dollar lately? Look down.
Oh, ours is worse. Don't worry.
Look down wherever you are. The interacting with folks from other societal situations, other countries, and folks who maybe don't have English as a first language. When you had folks doing that, how did that make you feel? That you were worldwide at that point.
Comes with playing a Pokemon game. That's what it was. Um, I unfortunately it did make kind of really throw. When I say that it threw me off, I'm not really lying. Unfortunately, it took me a little bit to recover. I had some very uh kind people in my chat, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that to be mean to them or anything like that, but I think that they could probably tell that I was a bit like, sorry, I don't know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like ban you now, and because you keep just putting in words that I don't know.
Right.
So it's I had some people that were just very much like, it's okay, don't worry, like you're fine, sort of thing.
Well,
because I can present myself pretty confidently, but you can get easily thrown off if something doesn't go right.
You present yourself confidently standing on a wobbly chair.
That's a good way of putting it. Oh.
I am perfectly fine, crash. Yeah, it is. Well, I see a lot of people who put up on their streams English only,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is probably a good idea. It's not you know, sorting out people by what they say, but it's not fair if someone comes in and is giving you everything in Belgian, which isn't a language I know, and you don't understand Belgian.
Mm-hmm.
What good is that to anybody?
Yeah. At that point, I would much rather have like, I know somebody's probably going to react if I say AI, but like Google Translate, like broken English sort of thing, something that I can still kind of discern what you're saying. I would rather have that.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind international viewers, people who don't know English or English as a second language. I'm not disparaging against them or anything like that. They're happy to come in. I won't be able to communicate with you. That's the only thing.
It kind of really points out something too about the school systems for these folks, because a lot of folks in the other countries don't have English as a first language, but speak it better than me.
I think that's if anything, that's something that's a impact of the internet.
Yeah.
Because just listening to people, even from Japan, that are just like, yeah, I learned it from like watching YouTube videos. There, there it is again. Or they might have, for example, an anime or a show that was imported that wasn't redubbed into their language that they speak.
Right.
So instead, it's just like their subtitles and stuff.
Yeah.
But they could pick up words.
Yeah, and us American folks, we just know our language, kind of. In Canada, you're kind of forced to at least learn a little bit of a different language.
Yeah.
It's kind of mandatory.
Yeah, up until grade 9, I wanted to take. I remember wanting to take German in high school, and my parents kind of forbade me because they're like, "No, your grades in French aren't that great." And I'm like, "But that's because it's French. This is German. Let me learn German."
I don't want to learn French.
I don't want to learn French anymore. I've done this for 10 years. I'm done.
I know where the bathroom is. That's all I need. Now,
exactly.
In Spanish right now, I can almost count to 20, and I can tell you where the doors are.
Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah,
that's better than me.
Abierto. That's where you. I think that's entrance. And there you go. Siente seis abierto. I don't know what that means. When you still started getting folks coming back for your streams and people you recognize in the streams, and did you realize then that they were really coming back for you and not necessarily what you were doing?
Yeah, that's a plain and simple answer. It's because I've had that before, where it's just like, is it just a game that you play? Because there are people that will like, I played Fortnite for 5 years and will not deviate from it. A lot of people that I know do tend to dabble more into variety. Which is pretty good. I don't think a lot of people really kind of stick to one game all that much anymore.
Yeah.
But Yeah, no, that's a simple question. That's a simple answer. It just, I don't know. It's very heartwarming. It's very much like, oh, you're choosing to spend time with me. Okay,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. And some people kind of get a little bit nervous with that because then they start feeling kind of responsible for, they're taking their time to come see me. I better give them a good show.
Yeah, I think that plays into the other half of the parasocial because I've seen people on Twitter putting out like, "Is it really parasocial that I care so much about my chat?" And I'm like, I think it is. But like, it's the good kind of parasocial. It's not that like you're overstepping your boundaries or anything like that,
Yeah,
or you're
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
stalk your chat or whatever.
yeah.
Although that's a whole other ball game. Um, but I think it's kind of normal that you do kind of feel a little bit responsible. You do kind of feel, especially for the people that do this kind of full time, that are reliant on the income of streaming and content creation.
Yeah.
Um, you do feel responsible for them to put on a good show. You do feel responsible for them to you enjoy their time with you. I
Right.
guess is
Yeah.
the best thing that I could say.
Yeah. It's
Um,
it's a they made the effort to whatever country they were in to stay up and tune in, and now I got to give them something for doing it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It,
Or at least like, hey, how's it going? Even if it's just like asking them how their day is going or anything like that.
oh,
Like, yeah.
even that can change a person's entire day. It's um and some people this is what they do. They go to VTubers and that's the escape for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel that your VTubing is a little bit of an escape for you?
It definitely is. I would say like for me, especially because I don't stream on days that I'm actually working because I'm just usually like I'm just tired
Yeah, yeah.
on a social aspect and also like a working aspect. It is a bit of an escape. It usually does give me something to look forward to.
Hmm.
And if you have something that's really awesome, like you want to share certain stories, I did kind of like a con overview after going to a convention for the first time for a whole weekend since before COVID.
Cool.
Or you have like new sponsorships or anything like that, or you have like usually big announcement in the title of your stream.
Mm.
Yeah, it's definitely it's an escape. I would say for both
Yeah.
viewers and also like us as streamers as well too.
Well, we kind of talked about that earlier with being able to present yourself how you want. Um, you're some folks create entire worlds for themselves.
Yeah.
With backstory stuff, and I'm like, man, these people are really creative. And maybe their job is like mine, a clerk.
Hmm.
You don't get to be too creative as a clerk, and if you do, they don't like it very much.
Yeah.
I filed everything by the second letter of their middle name. You're fired.
Yeah. That's the other I think great thing about VTubing is that people are just so creative. Taking for an example, there is a creator out there who is in certain adult content that I am not interested in, but she got a model.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word on YouTube necessarily.
Don't worry about it. We're
But
through 18 plus.
It's Vor, or if you need to edit this out, Soar with a V.
Yes. Yes.
But she was very much into it, and she had this model made, and it's like, again, this isn't content that I'm kind of interested in, but I thought it was so cool. It was so creatively done. The rigging for it was really amazing.
Oh, it'd have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be, and the creativity is something that I am continually amazed by.
Yeah.
And even the folks who maybe only stream once a week or once a month. Usually they've stretched the envelope as far as they can to do things. That kind of MacGyverism and stick-to-itiveness. There are some people who are just who I've talked to that have just regular, like jobs at a grocery store or something, and I imagine you wouldn't think of them as super hyper creative, and then they get online and an entirely new person shows up,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
wonderful to get that chance. Because sometimes you're in a situation where you can't show it.
Yeah. I would say that from my experience, like talking on a microphone, and talking to people, and not necessarily having them be able to, talk back to me verbally, just through like chats and stuff like that. That's definitely kind of actually helped me with my social skills in my regular life
Yeah,
too.
I was gonna ask you about that. Are you a little more apt now to start up a conversation than you were before?
A little bit, a little bit.
Well,
I
and
still have the odd nervous moments in meeting new people, even if it's just like through a collab or voice chat, or if it's like, oh, I only know one person here. Um, I will be honest, I was nervous about this because this is the first time I've ever doing an interview beforehand.
yeah,
But definitely being able to speak maybe a little bit more articulately, um, being able to express myself, even if it's for something that's not necessarily, a positive thing.
mm,
For example, if my work gets really annoyed and it's just like, yep, I'm just going to send out this email. Okay. Yep. Just get that done. Okay.
yep,
Um,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
agree, but here you go.
Been
Sort of thing.
been there, done that on both sides of the email.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of had me appreciate my time a little bit more, because trying to find the work life balance, work life stream balance is tricky.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
yeah, it can be. It can be, especially if you've got one of those full-time jobs that just saps it right out of you.
yeah,
And you come home and you're tired. You just want to, you know, eat something quickly and get into bed as quickly as possible.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to your 60s. um, some people experience it a little earlier.
That would be me.
Yeah. So when you are on and streaming, what type of games are you playing?
Oh my god, lately I've been on a very big
Yeah.
cozy game kick.
Yeah.
I do really like indie games. Unfortunately, like I don't have a high end PC or anything like that. I do have a laptop.
Yeah.
And she runs okay, but I tried something really recently and it was not even a graphically intense game, but it just chugged, and I was just like, okay, we're gonna have to switch to a different game.
Yes, when part of it starts glowing, it's like, okay, it's probably a little too much.
When you're moving at 5 frames per second, you're just like, nope, this is lasting for 5 minutes, and,
Yes.
and sometimes you just gotta abort.
Well, I have trouble with that because I move at 5 frames per second in real life. So I'm like, yeah, this is perfectly fine for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's okay.
Yeah, but the indie games, to me, seem a lot cozier. Even the tougher horror games, because of, I think that you get a little more humanity put in the game.
Yeah. They're usually typically not. It's funny that you mentioned horror, because this tends to be such an issue, especially with the horror games, with AI usage.
Mm-hmm.
But for the ones that do it, ethically, there's a lot more passion in indie games. I feel like they're usually a lot more approachable and a lot more affordable. That's mostly one of the reasons for me that I've been enjoying them so much, because I would love to have Persona 3 Reloaded. That costs over $100 for me, because the economy is kind of in a downswing right now.
Yes. That's very kind of you to say downswing.
Yep. But over $100 plus game, or like a Switch 2 or something like that, versus like something that might be $20, and maybe for the next Steam sale, it's half off of that as well too.
Yeah.
And indie games usually have a much smaller dev team.
More personal.
You kind of feel like your money is going to go a little bit further in some cases.
Yeah, I look at games like Undertale or Stardew Valley that were very much almost entirely one-person things, and and you realize the heart behind those games, and
Yeah.
they're still working on. The fellow from Stardew Valley are still coming out with stuff for it.
Yeah, that's like what, 10 years almost?
Yeah, yeah,
If
and we
not.
still haven't seen the next game yet.
I don't think they're going to be allowed to do a new game
I don't know
with
either.
how popular Stardew
I
is.
mean, yeah, I mean, I'd say my other computer, which isn't working, has 30 to 40 Stardew saves on it. So
Oh my
yeah, I
gosh.
played everything I could out of that thing. But that's the part of a comfy game like that is I ask people what their comfort game is. It doesn't have to be milking the cows on the farm type of game. It could be their comfort game is going out and killing monsters, but it's just something they're comfortable with.
Yeah. I think I even talked on my stream a couple of weeks ago that it's just like, oh, I was having this weird craving for like uh something like Zomboid, where you go out and you just like mow down a bunch of zombies or something like that. It's just
Yes,
like, it's not usually my usual game, but it's kind of how I would have interpreted it as like switch brain off kind of mode, where it's
yes,
just like you just go in, which is also why I think Fortnite's really popular.
yeah,
You just go in and you mow down zombies and you just survive, and
yep.
sometimes that's what you want.
Yeah. Now, Zomboid would drive me crazy because I would die way too often. I would
I would die too.
I would have a beautiful setup and then accidentally run into a horde and just die immediately. And like no, there's no save point.
Yep, one and done.
Yeah, like our old NESs didn't have hardly any save points until Zelda, so um, we had to deal with it that way.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, we couldn't pause our Super Mario and pick it up later. You had to finish
No,
that game. Yeah.
I remember that. I remember just leaving the game running for like several hours while you like go and have lunch and do chores around the house, sort of thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna have all of the links we've been able to find for Buns in the description for this video. Um, do you see this going to be a year of expansion for you?
I kind of hope so.
Mm.
I don't know what that exactly that entails. I do have one kind of project in the works in the background that I am hoping to get out. I won't say what it is exactly, but it is kind of like a long-term goal of mine.
Watch this space.
Um, sorry?
Watch this space.
Watch this space, yeah. It's more for my chat, if anything, because they've mentioned this multiple times to me. But I'm kind of hoping so. I want to get more into kind of some video editing and some things on YouTube as well too, because they always say, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
But I'm hopeful. I've been disappointed before.
Mm-hmm.
I've disappointed myself by making very lofty goals, so I try to be very, very reasonable with my yearly goals for myself. But yeah, I'm hopeful for some growth, new opportunities, and honestly, I'm just here for the ride. Whatever comes my way, I guess.
Well, I think that you're extremely easy to talk with, and I can see why people would come in and hang around for a while. Um, it's very obvious that this is kind of meant for you. Once you get comfortable and you settled in, it's very easy to kind of have that campfire feeling, with in
Yeah.
talking with you, and that would I can certainly see a good solid chat core coming back time and time again. It's just wonderful to talk with you and to hear that voice say things. It's a very good voice for this. Um,
Thank you, because I can't stand it when I listen to my videos that I want to edit.
yeah, that's something that you're gonna have to eventually get over because you can't run away from it.
I know.
That's tough. That's tough to do sometimes. If you're in radio, it's even worse. You really hear it super processed. That's not even me. It's talking at that point. Please come back sometime and talk some more. Wasn't long enough this time, but we want to hear more about what you're up to, and
Uh,
so we'll have all the links in the description. so other people can get a chance to see what Cinnamon Buns has got going on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me and for the time. This was cool. This was great. There's the nervousness coming back in again.
Too late now. Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.